Hi guys, and today we're back at Rec Room. It's been so long since I played this, and I'm so excited. I'm literally jumping in my pants. I feel like I'm gonna wee my pants. Yay! I'm literally jumping in your life. Wait until we get into that whole thing. Waiting to leave us. I look in the mirror, see how I look. I look stylish. I look over. Anyway, let's just change our room. Yes! Whoa, this looks so sick. Doesn't this? Whoever made this, shout out to you. Whoa! So cool! What planet is this? Can we open it? Imagine if we could. Okay, I wish we could. Let's close that up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I doing? What just happened? I don't get it. Anyway, let's just... Oh, look, I've got a nice computer. Let's just leave. Why do I feel like I'm not recording? Let's just get into the point of the episode. What is it? This one has cameras? I know that's cool, but just I don't know. How do we move? Like, not move, like switch rooms. I forgot. Oh, no. Is this it? I do not care. Stop! Breaking point? Okay, we'll do some fun. Breaking point, if you don't know what breaking point is, it's like a Roblox game where like you have to, like, there's random things and you have to skip. Okay. Breaking point is literally probably the most mad I've ever been in my life. You've probably seen my breaking point and saying
What the fuck?
Okay, wait.
Help! I need help, guys! I'm Russian. I'm almost Mijn mond ding bang mijn mond ding bang tong stink. Ik ga ding hoor ballen. Ik zeg dat bang ding bang bang.
Tinko tank
Zoek maar volpijlen. Sjong dan bong. Ja, denk bij wie.
Ga met z'n doen, meis.
Bang bang. Ja, dat is. Bang bing bong. Ja, ding bong. Halo Tongko. Я буду с этим, Донко, я буду с этим сам буду hrát tohle, jo, sám to.
To je backroom. Nenapájel se ale Redlíku, dobré? A proč? Redlíku, pojď jdeme.
Well, that was weird. Did they even speak English? I hope I can't still. I hope they can't hear me. I'm trying to go over server. We are. Oh no! Help! Imagine you just like knocks on the window. I'm scared myself. I love it. I love this. Oh no. I'm just gonna watch some videos while we wait. Just gonna sit down and watch some videos.
Told him to keep his head down. Shortly afterward, Wyatt returns to put the gun back in the closet and takes the chance to open a box Henry has hidden there a long time ago. Inside, he finds another gun and a bunch of newspaper clips mentioning various crimes. Speaking of Henry, on the way to town, he discovers Ketchup and his men have been following the trail Curry left behind. Stillwell is such a good tracker that he can tell someone has covered Curry's tracks. So now the trio...
Whatever you're into, you'll find more
stupid
in
ad.
the Google app. Just open the app to discover more.
Welcome back to Movie Recaps. Today I will show you a fantasy, romance film from 2021, titled The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. It's a normal morning for everyone in town, but not for high school student and artist Mark, who is stuck in a time loop. He's been through this same day so many times that he has every detail memorized. Every morning, he watches his mom go to work. Then he has breakfast with his father Daniel and his sister Emma, guessing every little thing they're going to say, like an invitation to Emma's soccer match that he turns down and knowing all the answers to the crossword Daniel is doing. That's how the rest of his day goes as well. He takes the streets on his bicycle and navigates the town knowing exactly what each person will do. Sometimes he even interferes, like taking away a phone from a driver's hand to avoid an accident. But mostly he has fun with it, doing things like buying the lottery ticket with the winning numbers or driving an excavator around town. Mark doesn't go to class anymore, but every day he makes sure to stop by a particular corner to give directions to a girl called Phoebe, who he has a crush on, yet he still hasn't managed to find a way to keep a proper conversation going with her. In the afternoon, he goes to the local pool to prevent a ball from hitting Phoebe on the head or rescuing her before she falls, and sometimes he manages to walk her home after that, but she never accepts his invitation to hang out later. When he's feeling frustrated with this situation, Mark visits his friend Henry, who is having difficulties finishing a video game level. By pretending to talk about a hypothetical situation, Mark asks him what he would do if he got in a time loop, and Henry says he'd get the girl because having infinite tries means he's got to do it right sooner or later. Henry also points out that you would want to get out of the loop because the repetition and the isolation would take a toll on you, and Mark denies it, saying you'd be the king of the world. In reality though, he does have moments where he feels lonely, especially when he has to avoid having an important talk with his dad. Mark keeps going trying with Phoebe at the pool every day until one afternoon. Margaret steps in and catches the ball before it hits Phoebe. Shocked by having something different happening, Mark follows her on her way out, but she gets in a car and drives away before he can talk to her. In the subsequent loops, Mark begins looking for her, desperate to know if someone else is stuck with him. He waits by the pool but she doesn't return there, and he also tries the number on the missing dog flyer she dropped before leaving, but it's not hers. After many failed tries, Mark happens to be visiting a restaurant when he notices a manga volume and a $100 bill have carelessly been left on a table. Guessing it could have only been her, he rushes outside, and after believing for a second that he lost her in the bus, he actually finds Margaret resting against the wall. Awkwardly but determined, Mark asks about the time loop, and Margaret confirms she's also been stuck in it. They chat awkwardly about their experience, agreeing that it feels like being the only people awake while everyone else is asleep. But Margaret wants to leave, not interested in befriending Mark. Not wanting to lose the only person that understands, Mark convinces her to stay a little longer by showing her some funny things he's discovered around town, like a dog stealing a man's phone. When Margaret gets an important call, she truly needs to leave now, but Mark gets her to share her number so they can find each other again later. Before the day resets at 12 a.m., Mark memorizes Margaret's number, which fortunately he still remembers after the loop kicks in. He begins trying out different hairstyles and sending her pictures, but she doesn't reply until he actually asks her to meet up. Then they begin sharing a little more about each other. Mark is supposed to be in summer school, but he's only gone twice. His dream is to go to art school, but his parents are obsessed with putting him in honors math, and he wishes the loop wasn't happening on the day Daniel wants to talk about his son's future. Margaret, on the other hand, is in AP and dreams of becoming an astronaut. They also share what crazy things they've been doing during the loop. Mark has hopped a freight train and ridden his bicycle through school. Margaret has put her chess app on maximum difficulty, but she hasn't managed to beat it yet. She also stole her friend's car and has been teaching herself to drive. Her favorite thing, though, is something in the forest outside town, so she takes Mark there to show him. This special moment consists of a bird flying down the lake and easily catching a fish with its claws, which Mark agrees is amazing. After chatting for a while, Margaret drives Mark home and leaves when yet again she receives an urgent call on her phone from a man called Jared. On the next reset, Mark takes Margaret to watch the skate rats, although most of them suck at it. One particular skater manages to pull a trick nicely, which Mark finds as interesting as the bird. Afterward, the duo rides a steamroller through the streets while Mark tries to find out who this Jared guy is, but Margaret only tells him he's a med student. Later, while having an absurd amount of fast food and ice cream at a restaurant, Mark confesses that he thinks this is what living in the loop is about. Most of life is junk, but like this, they can discover how amazing life can be if they wanted it to. This gives him an idea. Maybe they should find all the tiny perfect things in town and collect them. Margaret is skeptical because she doesn't want to seize the day as Mark does. She only wants to go through it, but she gives in when he points out they only have each other and the loop should be meaningful. Their first deed is to leave random dollar bills around the store for people to find while they discuss some theories about the fourth dimension, which Margaret doesn't think it's time. She thinks they're the shadows of the fourth dimension people. She also shows Mark what a 4D cube would look like by drawing it on the store's window. Afterward, their loops are spent looking for cool stuff around town. They accept any moment they find unique, like an elderly woman dancing after winning a card game, a man gaining wings when a van stops behind him, and a janitor pausing his work to play the piano. Every now and then, Margaret also drags Mark to the library to teach him math. No matter what they do though, Margaret always leaves when she gets the call from Jared, even when she admits she doesn't want the day to end and would rather have time broken forever. After an evening spent freaking out his dad with joke answers regarding his future and showing him a tattoo, Mark wakes up to a new day determined to find out who this Jared guy is. The internet shows him a picture of a staff member at the local hospital, which makes Mark feel insignificant. He decides to visit Henry for advice on how to tackle these feelings he's developing for Margaret, so Henry gives him some ideas. This should be done through a stealth date. Begin with the usual hanging out and increasingly make it more romantic by the second until the perfect moment for a kiss comes up. And this stealth date should be something that shows Mark truly understands her. Lots of planning and bribing the kids in the art department later, Mark takes Margaret to his school gym, where he has put up a mock-up of Tranquility Base for her. They spend the afternoon playing around, pretending to be in space and eating astronaut food. They also ride a bicycle through the school corridors together. Afterward, they stop by Mark's house, where he tells Margaret a little more about his family. His mother works all day, so the downside of the loop is that he hasn't seen her in forever because she leaves when he's waking up, and his dad recently quit his job to write a book about the Civil War. However, Margaret dodges the subject of her own parents, so the duo ends up watching a movie instead. Margaret takes the chance to look around his desk to admire his art, and that's how she finds a map he's drawn marking all the perfect moments they've found around town. She's quite impressed, especially when he admits he makes it every morning while hoping to find some sort of pattern, but so far he hasn't noticed anything. Now that the two of them are sitting closely and having a cute moment over the map, Mark tries to kiss Margaret, but she pulls back and says she can't. Mark tries to understand why, thinking it may be Jared and there's something Margaret isn't telling him, which makes her snap. She explains that since they're stuck together, they shouldn't do anything to mess it up, so the perfect thing collection should be enough. After a devastated Mark agrees to just be friends, Margaret leaves to take her usual phone call. The following reset, Mark is in a bad mood, so he doesn't do his usual predictions through breakfast. He does, however, ask his dad how his mom is doing. Getting fine.
Okay, guys, I know you're bored, but I've got a solution. I'm going to reset the game and see if that works, okay?